Gentle rhythmic movement practice becomes particularly valuable after age 60 for maintaining physical function, mental clarity, and sense of purpose. Today we're covering Radio Taiso, Japanese daily exercise routine practiced for nearly a century, addressing 5 key benefits: flexibility and joint mobility restoration, gentle cardiovascular activation, movement-based meditation, brain-body coordination enhancement, and identity reclamation through agency. This 3-minute structured routine targets joint lubrication through circular movements, microcardio stimulation without exhaustion, nervous system regulation through rhythmic motion, neuromotor pathway reactivation, and psychological empowerment. When practiced correctly and consistently, these movements help restore functional mobility, improve circulation, enhance mental clarity, sharpen coordination, and reinforce personal autonomy. Before we begin, this is educational content, not medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before starting new exercises, especially if you have chronic conditions, arthritis, cardiovascular concerns, limited mobility, or recent surgery. Understanding gentle daily movement practice after 60. Radio Taiso represents rhythmic mindful movement series practiced daily by millions of older adults in Japan for nearly a century, functioning not merely as senior workout but as ritual, reset mechanism, and daily declaration of continued strength and forward intention. For adults over 60, particularly in United States context where numerous exercise programs may have been attempted or abandoned, this simple structured movement set offers different approach emphasizing consistency over intensity, gentle activation over exhaustion, and ritualistic practice over sporadic effort. These movements prove carefully designed rather than random, targeting specific physiological and psychological benefits particularly relevant for aging population including joint mobility restoration, cardiovascular health maintenance without excessive strain, mental clarity through movement meditation, cognitive function preservation through coordination training, and personal agency reinforcement through daily intentional practice. Benefit 1: Flexibility and joint mobility restoration. Stiffness after 60 frequently results from disuse rather than age alone, with joints remaining responsive, trainable, and awaiting appropriate movement signals. Slow circular movements in Radio Taiso specifically stimulate synovial fluid production, lubricate stiffened joints, and remind muscles of coordinated function, comparable to oiling door hinges unopened for years. This doesn't require yoga master flexibility but consistent gentle daily reminders that movement remains safe, capacity persists, and vitality continues. Research demonstrates that regular gentle joint mobilization significantly improves range of motion and reduces stiffness in older adults through mechanical stimulation and neurological feedback. These movements reintroduce body to mobility patterns it remembers but hasn't accessed recently, requiring only consistency rather than intensity for meaningful restoration. Many practitioners report functional improvements like tying shoes without conscious effort or bending down naturally after years of movement hesitation, representing mobility regained rather than miraculous transformation. Body retains movement wisdom, requiring only gentle consistent reintroduction to access previously inhibited ranges and patterns. Benefit 2: Gentle cardiovascular activation. After 60, body requires gentle activation rather than punishment through intense exercise. Radio Taiso provides microcardio benefit through short bursts of light rhythmic movement stimulating circulation, gently elevating heart rate, and communicating continued vitality to cardiovascular system. Microcardio's value lies not in intensity but in reconnecting with natural body rhythms, providing heart with momentum rather than marathon demands. Even brief intentional movement periods can lower resting blood pressure, improve vascular flexibility, and enhance cerebral oxygen delivery, closely tied to mental clarity and mood regulation. This approach avoids soreness, next-day regret, or exercise avoidance from overexertion, instead providing sufficient effort reminding heart of persistent strength without exhaustion. Research in cardiovascular health demonstrates that regular light-intensity rhythmic movement provides substantial health benefits for older adults including improved endothelial function, reduced arterial stiffness, and enhanced autonomic nervous system balance. This represents balance over burnout, healing over adrenaline, offering appropriate cardiovascular stimulus without excessive physiological stress that might discourage continued practice or cause injury. Benefit 3: Movement as meditation for mental clarity. Moving meditation offers valuable alternative for individuals finding traditional seated meditation frustrating due to racing thoughts or physical discomfort. Radio Taiso delivers this through gentle flowing movements calming nervous system as breath synchronizes with motion, shifting mental state from scattered thinking to focused presence. For 3 minutes, practitioners exist fully in body moving with purpose rather than worrying about tasks, medications, or appointments. The structured yet simple nature provides sufficient guidance without excessive cognitive demand, allowing mental rest while maintaining engagement. This becomes daily grounding ritual offering first genuine quiet many experience in years. Research demonstrates that light rhythmic movement reduces cortisol levels and improves sleep quality in older adults through parasympathetic nervous system activation and stress hormone regulation. Peace doesn't require silence but can manifest through motion, through arm raising, spinal swaying, and breath rhythm. This transcends mere exercise, functioning as moving prayer to body and mind still called home, offering psychological sanctuary within physical practice accessible regardless of meditation experience or capacity for stillness. Benefit 4: Brain-body coordination enhancement. Age-related cognitive changes including memory difficulties, mental fogginess, or increased clumsiness often reflect disconnection rather than inevitable decline. Brain and body maintain constant communication where every reach, twist, or balance maneuver requires neural signaling, timing adjustment, and micro-decision making. When movement stops or becomes limited, this communication diminishes, resulting in lost sharpness affecting both muscular and mental coordination. Radio Taiso functions as daily resynchronization ritual where each deliberate arm raise and torso turn forces brain re-engagement, focus restoration, and coordination re-establishment. This represents neuromotor training demonstrating improved reaction time, balance, and cognitive function in older adults through research studies. Practitioners report functional improvements like noticing curbs rather than tripping over them, representing restored brain-body synchronicity rather than miraculous transformation. This connection restoration remains possible regardless of age, requiring only daily practice allowing mind and body coordinated interaction. Most powerful cognitive enhancement might originate from simple consistent movement practice rather than complex brain training programs, as physical coordination directly supports neural pathway maintenance and cognitive reserve preservation. Benefit 5: Identity and autonomy reclamation. Aging gradually diminishes personal identity through hobby abandonment, increased dependence on others, or feeling invisible in fast-paced society, creating sense of disappeared self not from desire but perceived lack of choice. However, core identity persists, and each intentional movement choice, even just 3 minutes daily, reinforces self-recognition and agency. Radio Taiso transcends fitness, representing autonomy reclamation in body society expects to slow down. Each small movement becomes defiance act, dignity expression, and identity declaration. Individuals are not defined by age, diagnosis, or losses but by chosen continued actions. Movement practiced consciously, joyfully, and daily declares continued life control. When lifting arms, turning shoulders, or rising on toes during Radio Taiso, practitioners aren't merely exercising but quietly yet powerfully declaring persistent self-identity. This psychological benefit proves equally important as physical gains, reinforcing personal agency, self-efficacy, and continued relevance in aging process often characterized by progressive loss of control and social diminishment. Performing movements safely and effectively. Start where you are rather than where you think you should be, avoiding expectation of perfect full routine execution on first day. Radio Taiso can be modified from seated position while still providing substantial benefits. Consistency matters more than intensity. Begin with just 3 minutes each morning, creating small ritual with consistent timing, quiet space, and potentially music, signaling to body and mind designated personal time. For individuals with chronic conditions including arthritis, cardiovascular issues, or limited mobility, consult healthcare provider first, recognizing gentle movement almost always surpasses complete inactivity. If missing practice day, simply return next day without self-criticism. Graceful aging emphasizes showing up with self-kindness through small steps rather than demanding perfection. Focus on movement quality and body awareness rather than range or speed, allowing practice to become sustainable ritual rather than demanding task. Safety considerations and precautions. Do not perform these movements without consulting healthcare provider if you have uncontrolled cardiovascular conditions, recent cardiac events, severe balance disorders requiring assistance, acute joint inflammation or injury, recent surgery or medical procedures, or conditions causing dizziness or syncope episodes. Even for healthy older adults, start conservatively with smaller ranges and slower pace, progressing gradually over weeks. Stop immediately if experiencing chest pain or breathing difficulty, severe dizziness or balance loss, acute joint pain or swelling, unusual fatigue or weakness, or any concerning symptoms. Mild muscle sensation and gentle stretching feelings are normal, acute symptoms are not and require medical evaluation. Realistic expectations and timeline. Benefits develop progressively through consistent daily practice. Week 1, learning movement patterns, developing routine habit, initial body awareness, feeling of accomplishment. Weeks 2 to 4, improved morning stiffness, enhanced movement ease, beginning circulation benefits, mental clarity improvements. Weeks 4 to 8, noticeable flexibility gains, better balance confidence, improved sleep quality, enhanced mood regulation, strengthened mind-body connection. Weeks 8 to 12 and beyond, maintained progressive improvements, established sustainable ritual, clear functional benefits supporting independence, continued physical and psychological enhancement. However, inconsistent practice limits benefits, emphasizing importance of daily gentle practice over sporadic intensive sessions. Integration into daily routine. This 3-minute practice integrates easily into daily routine. Ideal timing includes morning upon waking as energizing start and routine establishment, mid-morning as movement break during sedentary periods, afternoon for energy restoration, or evening for gentle activation before dinner. Consistency matters more than perfect timing. Choose time working reliably within schedule, enabling sustainable practice becoming natural habit rather than additional burden. Consider pairing with morning coffee, after breakfast, or before daily walk for automatic integration into existing routines. Complementary practices for holistic wellness. Radio Taiso works best combined with regular walking, maintaining cardiovascular health, adequate hydration supporting joint and tissue function, balanced nutrition providing energy and recovery support, sufficient sleep allowing restoration, social connection reducing isolation, and engagement in meaningful activities supporting purpose. Additionally, maintain proper indoor temperature for comfortable movement, wear comfortable non-restrictive clothing, practice in safe space free from trip hazards, and consider practicing with others either in person or virtually for social support and accountability. Monitoring progress. Track both practice consistency and experiential improvements. Practice metrics, days practiced per week, time of day established, comfort with movement patterns, ability to complete full routine, reduced modification needs. Experiential improvements, enhanced morning ease and reduced stiffness, improved mood and mental clarity, better balance confidence, increased daily activity tolerance, enhanced sense of purpose and agency, improved sleep quality, reduced stress levels. These subjective markers prove equally important as objective measures, indicating meaningful improvements supporting quality of life and well-being. Conclusion. Radio Taiso provides evidence-based benefits for adults over 60 including restored joint mobility and flexibility, gentle cardiovascular stimulation, mental clarity through movement meditation, enhanced brain-body coordination, and reinforced personal identity and agency. This 3-minute daily practice requires no equipment, minimal space, and can be performed safely at home or modified from seated position. Start with basic movements using proper awareness. Practice consistently daily at same time. Progress gradually in range and complexity. Use gentle approach always. Combined with regular activity, social connection, and comprehensive wellness approach, this practice supports continued physical function, mental clarity, and sense of purpose throughout aging process. Thank you for watching. For specific concerns about appropriate movements for your situation, consult healthcare provider or physical therapist for personalized assessment and guidance. Subscribe for evidence-based information on gentle daily movement practices for older adults, practical guidance prioritizing consistency while helping you maintain independence, vitality, and identity through simple accessible rituals.